This wisdom comes from my sweetheart, Karen, and I'm really excited. There's rumor that you might do a podcast with her. I'm really excited about.
Yeah. How wild would that be if I had a podcast with both my dad and my stepmom? A separate podcast, I think it'd be really fun. It makes me happy. I would love that.
I think it'd be great. So Karen is very, very wise.
Yeah.
And she says, you, particularly if you're in a long-term relationship, you want to make sure that you can travel with someone.
Yeah.
And how do they, because in traveling you have problems, you have difficulties.
Things go wrong.
You have curveballs,
Yeah.
and you have to be able to adapt. And if you can travel with someone and go on like a 3, 4, 5 day, 7 day trip, no problem. Mike, I've got goosebumps around thinking about this. I haven't told you the story yet, but we were stuffing Strong Opinion sports shirts, and I've got my Shirts for Your People hat on. We are part of a company, Shirts for Your People.
Yeah.
If you are building a brand or building a business, we have got, you guessed it, Shirts for Your People.
Tangent real quick, by the way. Everyone asks, how do you make shirts? I hated every option, so we made our own company, basically.
Yep, and T-Shirt Dave is the CEO and the principal of that company.
He's the man.
Go to the website and contact T-Shirt Dave. Don't ask me for a quote on T-shirts, but he'll get you the shirts. Well, I'm stuffing shirts. Our first big client was Strong Opinion Sports, and we were stuffing shirts, and we're talking, and he shared that one of his favorite place on the planet to go to is Disneyland. And
Dave said that?
Dave said
to
that.
you?
To me. And we both said at the same
significance.
time,
Oh.
this is the happiest place on earth. And we were like both shocked. And I knew, so we set some goals. We're going to grow this company and eventually we'll go on some trips. But I said, I want you and I as a reward as we grow this company next 3 or 4 years, you and I to take a trip to Disneyland. And he and I would have so much fun. And I just know in my gut that traveling with Dave would be a joy. He'd roll with the punches. He wouldn't be uptight. We'd have a plan, but not stuck to it too much. And it's a really big deal. To be able to travel with someone. And so, okay, you took a long trip with your dad to Cincinnati, and we had challenges. What was it like?
I think the most telling thing, though, was we got back into Portland on Monday. And on Tuesday morning, we were hanging out again. And we're having a good time. I went and picked up a couch because someone gave me a couch. Thank goodness I finally, after living here for a month and a half, got a couch in my living room. I can sit down and watch stuff. But we had a good time moving this stupid couch, this heavy thing, and your arm, you're old.
My arm hurt,
you're an old
man.
man, so your body's all falling apart. And then we went to Goodwill and we got a TV stand and we were making fun of the mugs and people. We just had a good time.
Yep.
And it was very telling to me when you left and drove home. I was like, we went on a long trip together to Cincinnati. We were exhausted, we were tired. And then the day after we get back, we were still able to hang out and it was pleasant. It wasn't, oh, we got to get through this. It was just, we just hung out and had a good time.
So before you move in with someone or get engaged to them or get married to them, take a 5-7 day trip with them and make sure that you guys can roll together.
Well, it's because it's so important to be able to roll with the punches. If something goes wrong or isn't quite right. I think on Saturday night, you really wanted to go get steak, correct?
No, Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Sunday after the game.
Yeah, after the game.
I totally ignored you. We went and got Skyline Chili because that's what I wanted. And you were fine and you were happy and there was no problem.
Yep. But we had obstacles, on the way to the airport. We're going to record podcasts and you're going to co-host podcasts with me.
Yep.
I'm going to record.
For your shows.
Yeah, for my shows. I'm going to shoot footage for the Culinary Treasure Show. And about 2 hours before I leave, I get a
2
text.
hours before leaving Portland to go to Cincinnati.
Well, leaving my home to go to the airport.
Yep.
I get a text from the airline saying, hey, your leaving flight's been delayed.
Yep.
You're going to miss your connecting flight. So I call and we can get you to Cincinnati, not Friday night, but Saturday night. And if we got there Saturday night, I miss all the appointments I had set up. So I talked to the lady at the airline. She's super nice. She says, you might make it, but your luggage won't make it. So now I have to unpack all of my recording equipment and filming equipment, 2 different kinds of equipment, stuff it in my carry-on and my little bag. I've got 1 T-shirt rolled up. And I'll tell you, that was stressful for me. And we got to the airport and I'm stressed and I'm worried, will
you
all
couldn't
my
really
electronics.
Talk. You were like, ugh.
Yeah, all my electronics, would they get through security? Because I don't know. It's just weird and worried. And
yeah.
And
it's different. It's not a normal thing you take through security. We were like, what is this weird dildo-looking thing? It's a microphone. And they're like, what is this? And what is that? And it looks like is that a bomb? No, it's actually just a audio interface, It looks weird.
But it was stressful. But good news, all the stuff got through. We made our connecting flight with 5 minutes to spare.
We did.
And I have no idea how, but my luggage made it when we got
Somehow.
to Cincinnati.
Praise God if he's real.
But you were kind with me through that.
Yeah.
And then Sunday morning, we're headed to the game.
Yes.
And you had a kerfuffle.
I couldn't find the ticket we needed for the game. I know I bought tickets.
And you couldn't find your wallet.
So I left my wallet in the room. But before, part of the reason why I left my wallet in the room, though, is I was so distracted trying to find the tickets for the game. And I was like, I know I bought tickets. I'm not crazy. I'm searching through emails. I'm like, we didn't fly to Cincinnati without tickets to the stupid football game. The reason we're here is to watch the Patriots and the Bengals. How did this happen? And I finally found them, but I was stressed and anxious. And then we leave the hotel room and we're on the bus, and I realized I don't have my stupid wallet on me. I'm like, this is all bad. We might not even get allowed into the stadium. And so there was a moment where leaving, you were stressed and I was kind. And then when it flipped, I was horribly stressed and you were kind to me, and we just balanced each other out through this whole trip.
But some couples or some friends end up triggering each other.
Yeah.
And that leads to escalating conflict.
Yeah.
And that's just, if that's your life and that's the kind of relationship you have, man, don't do it.
If it just compounds each other and they just get worse, it's bad. It's all bad. So it's huge, man. You got to travel. I think it's a good rule of thumb just for life. If you can't travel with your friends, maybe they're not. Like here's my whole thing. I have a very small amount of friends. I don't want a lot of friends, and I'd rather have really close relationships that I build on. I'm an introvert. I have like 6 really close friends, and that's it. And if you're not adding to my life, or you're not someone I really want to invest in, I'm sorry. I have other people I would much rather hang out with than someone who pulls me back or drags me down. And I think it's maybe, for me, it's not like the only rule, but it's a good rule of thumb. If you can't travel with your friends, there's something that's off or something that's not quite right there.